Hey guys, this is Chris from DS6 Machina, and I'm with
Dave from Rampant Wolf Games.
and we are going deep with thematic games, deeply thematic games. So
Deeply thematic sci-fi.
Deeply thematic sci. So this is when it comes to deep. It refers to just a game that's just heavily thematically rich, right? It's a game that is deeply. I was supposed to repeat exactly what I just said. It's where the theme is dominant, where the theme services the rules, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not an abstract sci-fi game.
Yeah, exactly.
That seems pretty simple enough.
Okay.
Rapping rock. At least I didn't do it 14 times. My number 5 is a card drafting game called Among the Stars. Among the Stars, I've actually discovered recently that I thought, what an interesting, unique concept. And then I saw the other half a dozen games that are using the exact same concept, just differently, different mechanics. And that is building a space station. Right? The idea of building a space station sounds great, like you build space stations. And this was I think I'll say it was the first game where you were building a space station through card drafting, where you get 6 cards, pass it off, and then you do that 3 times, 3 different sets, until you've built up your station. Sometimes you have to discard cards to get money, because you have to pay money to put the cards down and so forth. And as you're doing that, you have to put down reactors so you can power everything, and you have a specific race that gives you additional points based on your configuration. And you get points actively through the game by combining the abilities of your station. Maybe you want to go full military. Sometimes you want to go full peace. And everyone's doing it. I've never played it. There is a little bit of hate drafting because people can see and going, oh, I can see you have a lot of red. So you want a lot of red. I'm not going to let you have this red. Right? So, and what's funny though is that I've only played with one person who hate drafted. And they didn't win the game. But I love sci-fi. But at the end of the day, you are building a space station. This is a station that's been built and serves that kind of purpose. And there is another game called Orbital, which I just got and just played like last month. Not even last, was it 3-4 weeks ago? And it uses tiles, but it does a similar. I wouldn't say it's not a draft, but it's almost like someone combined Among the Stars with
Galaxy Trucker.
No, with a tetrahedral game like Cottage Garden or Feast for Odin, right? Where there's an arrangement of different shaped tiles, and then you get them and the arrangement shifts, so the other person gets a slightly different arrangement. But it uses triangles, so you build. A station out of triangles, and you have a fixed arrangement. So in Orbital, you get either a cube or you can have these stars and shape and so forth. And that was pretty neat. And now there's this another one. Is this Sandy Peterson that's doing this one where the space station building is a 3-dimensional construct? It's called Staropolis, I think. I don't know who does it, but it's a game. Hello. But it's a game where it's the same thing, where you're building it out of actual plastic tokens. You're actually building a station. I haven't played Staropolis, so it's not going to be on my list. So Among the Stars is on my list. That's number 5 for a deeply thematic sci-fi game. On to you for 5.
All right. So my number 5 was coined as somewhat of the Twilight Imperium killer, or at least the better option to Twilight Imperium.
Well,
because at least you can get a game of this one through in a short period of time.
And it's called?
Eclipse. For the record, that is first edition, not second.
Oh, no. I know how you feel about second edition.
Yes. So,
Is that the game I played? This is the funny thing. I get Eclipse and Exodus confused.
Yes.
I think they're both E-games. I don't know why.
You did play Eclipse, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And
I won by not fighting. I won by you guys isolating me.
Yeah. Well, and it literally is. It is a 4X. It's expand,
4X.
exploit, exterminate, or expand, exploit, exterminate. Expand, explore, exploit, exterminate. Sorry. There we go.
Last time I tested you on this, you got them all too.
I did.
I think every 3 or 4 times you'll just blank on one.
Yeah. And you basically did it through exploit. You won through exploit.
Yeah, I did the monolith thing, but it was also by just pure coincidence there was no direct route until you went through a wormhole. You couldn't come to me.
Yeah, because we blocked you off.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you guys fight. I'll be over here building monoliths.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, that one I feel it is basically my old-fashioned RTS games, or even turn-based games that I used to play on video games, and it feels like that when I'm playing that game, because it's just like, okay, I need to allocate these resources, I need to build this thing. All right, I got enough force. I think I got the balls to go after this person, and then you go and it's just like, nope. Apparently I didn't. Time to go home.
It is a good game. As someone who hasn't played some of the other 4X games, it's definitely a good one. I definitely enjoyed it. I would kill for a sci-fi version of Heroes of Land, Air, and Z, but that's just me.
Oh, God, so would I. Yeah.
But that's because I just prefer the sci-fi genre.
Yeah.
So that's your number 5 pick.
Yeah. Eclipse.
My number 4 pick is a game that is annoyingly deeply thematic, almost to its own detriment. And that is First Martians. I like First Martians. I'm one of the few people that I get what the designers were doing. They wanted a incredibly realistic simulation of living on Mars when the space station was built by Samsung.
And this is where we're going to cut to. Going to have to science the shit out of it. From Martin.
Oh, I can't do that anymore. You know why?
Why?
I got freaking demonetized because I had a 5-second clip from Red Dwarf last week.
What?
Yes! Literally, I'm fighting demonetization on that one clip because it's a 5-second clip about, about the whole thing about, it's worth mentioning twice, that clip. Quite literally, that 5-second clip got demonetized by the BBC. So I can't show a clip from The Martian, even though I'd like to.
Well, then, the line is, we're going to have to science the shit out of it.
Yes, exactly. The line is, science the shit out of it, because, but the thing is, the game is really dense, and it has a really hard learning curve. I mean, when Rodney has to take 48 minutes to explain the rules to you, and even he still doesn't cover everything, you know. I mean, they take Robinson Crusoe, which is a difficult game to grog on its own. It's a difficult game to wrap your head around. Once you learn it, it's really easy. And then pack on more complexity, and then a campaign mode, and then perpetual. So the campaign leads into every other episode.
Yeah.
And then there's legacy elements. It's just like, wow. But dealing with all these little elements. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. It is a deeply thematic game. And the problem with it is that I can never get people to go, you want to play First Martians? And they're like, no. Can we play
First Martian.
Can we play Robinson Crusoe? And I'm like, come on, First Martian. It's like, I don't want to. I think it's like literally it's like you taking Robinson Crusoe and adding the fun and excitement of an Excel spreadsheet onto it. It's just it's like literally it's just you just see it looks like a computer screen. You're like, oh god, this looks like it's such a pain in the ass. But that's I enjoy it. I
do too.
Shouldn't, but I enjoy it. It's deeply thematic because it was uncompromising. Like, we were going to make this cooperative sci-fi game work even if it's not fun. Even though it is fun for me. And that's number 4, First Martians.
All right, my number 4, I'm not going to say much about it because it's everywhere. And that's Twilight Imperium 4.
Yeah. Once again, it's like, sci-fi game. Gotta put Twilight somewhere. Where's it going to go? It's not on my list because I don't do that.
Well, you know...
Because oddly enough, there isn't a single 4X game on my list. I cut the 4Xs out. Just because I think, like, when it comes to deeply thematic, I thought there were games that were more deeply thematic. A 4X game's like, well, it's got to be a 4X game. I say, is it a 4X game or is it a sci-fi game? And that's kind of where I put the line is.
Yeah, well, you know what? My number 1, you're not going to expect. I'll put this
It's like a trailer. You're not going to expect what happens next.
Yeah. So that's my number 4, Twilight Imperium 4.
Thematic. That was it? Okay.
There's not much to say. Everyone knows what Twilight Imperium is. There's not much to talk about.
Yeah, we've talked about Twilight Imperium before. And then my number 3 is a game, once again, puts the hard science first, if you see a theme. Although that's the last one that's like that. And that's Kepler 3042. Again, that doesn't get a lot of attention, even though I absolutely adore it. If you can get the Planitia version, I like it better, because I like a little Italian in my game. And or not, you can get the Renegade version, which adds a really funky art style to it, which I don't care for. I like the Planitia ships. The ships look like there's something out of 2001. To the point where you grab the little wooden meeple, you're like, which is up and which is the front? And you're like, oh, if you know it's 1960s sci-fi, you know exactly how that ship's supposed to be built. But then Renegade bought it, redressed the game, made it look a little different, and replaced the meeples that look like bunnies because they have wings on them. I go, yeah, but the Planitia ships looked like they were ships that you would actually build.
Yeah.
The Renegade version's like, now it's a space opera, but it's a game that it's got engine building very similar to Scythe. It has deeply rooted science fiction elements to it. It deals with energy transference. It deals with entropy. It deals with black holes. It deals with... I love the fact that you can send a ship on a slow trajectory to a distant world, and then 5 or 6 turns later, that ship gets beaten by your other ship with warp travel. Like, hey guys, got here before you did. I'm sure there's another world over there you can go to.
Yeah, that reminds me of a video game called Sword of the Stars.
Yeah? Oh, that sounds familiar.
It is an amazing game, and you end up having that time where you have the ion fission drive ships, and then you hit that upgrade and you start producing like antimatter ships, and they go into the system, and your poor cousin ion fission ships are just kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
and like.
I love that there's no take that in Kepler. I love the fact that whoever decides to explore the local system is definitely going to get more points for the local systems. But then the other player's like, well, fine, I'll go to the long distance star systems and I'll get more points for going up there. It'll take a lot longer to get there. I love the fact that there is a naturally explainable catch-up mechanic. So if somebody invents warp travel, it's not technology that you can keep from the other players. So if you develop warp travel, if you develop level 4 technology and they're level 1, they get to level 2 automatically without having to do anything, right? So it's like it's the same situation where if something happens that's critical, that changes the world, eventually everyone gets it. Even though somebody still may get it more than you, somebody gets it. We have super fast internet, but the whole world has internet, and I like that. It's a catch-up mechanic. It didn't need to be there because it's never been a situation that it's actually happened. I've never been so far ahead in one thing where somebody actually got upgraded automatically. But I like the fact that it's there, and they explained it, and they had a very philosophically sound reason why it was there. And it was just like, because this is how society works. I love the fact that they were thinking of that in that way. Graphic design's not great, but I have just a science boner for Kepler 3042. That's my number 3 pick.
Cool. I believe.
On to 2 for me.
No, I got to do 3.
You have to do 3. What's your number 3?
Galaxy Defenders. So this one I find deeply thematic because literally you feel like it is Men in Black meets any sci-fi game out there, because literally you're trying to stop the aliens from invading. So it's Men in Black versus meets Starship Trooper meets Battlefield Earth, basically.
He loves this game. I do.
But it is an amazing game. You throw in power suits, and yeah, it's awesome. So that's my number 3, Galaxy Defenders. Not much to say about it, but
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, exactly.
With the mecha and all that. And
yeah. So yeah, it's Galaxy Defenders. It's Extinction Protocol and Operation Strike Back. What's your number 2?
Nemesis.
Nice.
Because Nemesis. I've said in my review for Nemesis, which you can find, that I believe that they wrote... They wanted to do the game first, and then figured out what kind of mechanics to put in. Everything that they did was to make the theme pass through. Those people don't know, and I don't know why you would. Nemesis is a science fiction horror semi-cooperative game. That is what would happen if you slammed the movie Alien into the movie Pandorum. Some people call it an Alien ripoff, and I say it's not. It's an original story, but it's an original story that is it's actually, this is the funny thing about it. People go, oh, it's like a big ripoff of Alien. I go, well, if you played Nemesis and watched Alien, you go, okay, what stuff's the same? Well, the alien's in there. Okay, there's about 40 movies that have aliens in them. Can you think of something else? Well, they look like Giger's Alien. Like, okay, that's kind of like that, but what else? It's like, but if you've seen Pandorum Pandorum's like, oh, so what's the similarity between Pandorum and Nemesis? Well, they both have you waking up with no memory. They both have you exploring a ship that you should remember but can't. You then encounter other people with their own objectives and their own motivations, and one person ends up being could in fact be a traitor that wants to destroy the ship.
Yep.
Right? You replace the super evolved monsters in Pandorum with the creatures in Nemesis. The stories are identical. Yep. Even to the point of we don't know if the engines are working or not. We have to go to the engine core and stabilize it. They watched Pandorum and went, "Oh God, this has got to be a board game."
Yeah.
And the fact that they keep on saying Aliens the board game depresses me because it means every one of those people hasn't seen Pandorum.
Yeah.
But that's the ultimate. It is a much better thematic game than it is a mechanical game because the mechanics. The fact that you're rolling to your success of rolling in combat is based on the weapon and not based on anything based on your skill is kind of weird. The fact that in the cooperative game I can heal you, but I can't in the semi-cooperative, even though they're the same rules. Like, what happens if I can go to a bay and heal myself, but if you're in that bay, I can't heal you. But if you die, I can then take your corpse token and take it to the medical bay and revive you. But if you're alive, I can't do that. Because they haven't wrote that rule in. But so there are little things that, once again, you just have to play around. There's a lot of really good homebrew fixes to kind of peak the system. And the miniatures look amazing.
Yeah.
So and the cooperative campaign mode, despite how awful it ends, is actually pretty cool. So that's my number 2 pick. Nemesis.
My number 2 pick gets a lot of hate for the price of it versus what's in the box. But I don't care. You should play this game because it is so thematic to the point where when you are asked to make decisions in this game, I remember sitting around the table with the people I was playing with, and it was like, okay, what are we doing with this? And everybody's just like, and you could actually see it on people's faces where they're just like, okay, this feels like a very big decision. And that would...
Wait now.
Gen 7.
Oh, really? You put this on your... I so want to get this.
Yeah, it is an amazing game. I've played it, and it feels... You feel immersed in the theme. Right from the outset, all of what you're told, what you're trying to do, all makes sense. And you're instantly confronted with basically almost straight out of a movie where it's just like, okay, so you're going to trust the computer, you're going to trust the humans. That's basically how it starts off. It's like, are you going to trust the computer that's running everything, or are you going to trust the humans that told you something's up? And that's the decision you have to make. And not just leave.
If it wasn't for the price, it would be on my list.
Yeah.
Problem is that I'm kind of on the budget to buy another big box game, but it's probably going to be Lord of the Rings: Journeys in Middle Earth.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's if I played it, if someone would invite me, then maybe.
Yeah.
Of course, it's actually my fault. He invites me every week. I just don't show up. Maybe tomorrow will be the day.
Maybe. Except for I won't be there.
You're not playing tomorrow?
No, because I remember.
Oh, you're leaving.
That's right.
Well, that's no fun.
Gotta work.
Yeah. All right, that's your number 2 pick. Now I'm number 1. Smashing. Ha ha. Winner. The best game we ever play. My number 1 pick is one of my favorite games, period, despite it being hugely flawed because of how random it is. I don't care. I get to fly a spaceship, which is my own customized spaceship, which is I got my own little piece.
You're gonna say Zaya.
It is Gia. Gia is. I know. You're gonna say that Outer Rim is a better game, or you're gonna say that Firefly's a better game. Some people say Firefly's a better game, but at the end of the day, I have this cute little ship, which is my own ship. It doesn't look like your ship. It is my ship. And my little ship, I have my own little engine and so forth, and I have this mission to deliver this cargo to this planet. I'm going to explore this and get some points. And then I'm going to upgrade. What am I going to buy? I think I'm going to buy this ship today. And I'm going to buy this ship, and this is my new ship, and I have a story with this new ship. And my ship has has wool carpeting, and it has an 8-track sound system, because that's what it says in the little rules. And the only thing missing from the game is just more story. And they say that it's a sandbox game, so you make your own story. But I've never played Gia and ended early. I played numerous times and go, honey, we can finish. And by the way, I don't play with him. Honey, we got to 5 points. We can end now. And she's like, no, we keep playing. And then we'll play to the next strat, which is 10 points. And she's like, no, we'll keep playing. And we get to 25, and we get finally to the end of the points tracker. And we will have played for three or so hours. And she's like, let's keep going. And we'll just keep playing. And I know why she keeps playing. She wants to
win.
She wants, literally, I will be ahead of her for all the way until the end of the game. And then she'll do a few things, and then the last round, she'll just get close to tying me, and she'll okay, I'm good now. But she enjoys the process of exploring and doing missions and upgrading and getting points so much, you completely forget about time. I think Gia is, there's randomness in rolling. You roll your dice and go, oh, look at that, I rolled a 2 for movement. It happens. Mm-hmm. But despite the fact that the die rolling is such a random effect, I can't help but love this game. And that is Gia. Please do an expansion. Dude, you're so well talented. I love the expansion you did make. We badly need a great
big box expansion.
No, I just want a story-based expansion. I want something that there's an event. There's some really neat events that do pop up. Like the race is not a great event, but when the comet shows up, that just steamrolls through the entire freaking map. Like ours took out the kiln and just kept on going, and it just plowed through another world and just like, well, that was destructive. It was fun. But anyway, that's my number one pick, Gia.
All right. My number one pick, a lot of people probably have never heard of, and that's Sad. And
the game is called Sad.
And that is Jeff Siadek's Battlestations. Now, see, you've never heard of it. This is an old game, but he's re-released it recently. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Wait. What's the game called?
Battlestations.
Okay. I know Battlestations, but the way you said it was like...
Jeff Siadek's.
I thought that was the whole name of the game. I'm like, are we talking about Battlestations?
Yeah, we're talking about Battlestations. Okay.
That game I know. I haven't played it, but I do know it, yes.
Yeah. So that one, this game deserves more love, because literally it is everything you want to do in an RPG sci-fi, you can do with this game.
Yeah.
And they've actually now just kickstarted and completed the Dirt Side expansion. So basically, now you can do missions on planets as well. So it's not just build your ships and do missions and have custom modules and all this other stuff. It's you can do anything you can think of, you can do in this game. To the point, even when I asked Jeff the other day about it during a live cast that he was doing, I said, can I pair drop like a tank in this new game?
Like 18?
Yeah, exactly. Just he's just like, well, yeah, you can.
Like, sure, why not?
He's just like, you just gotta,
as he frantically writes down notes. Gotta add those rules.
But yeah, so it basically, and the community behind it is so huge. I would love to see one of the games played at some of the conventions they go to, but...
No, isn't there... I'm not confusing this. There's no controversy about this game, is there?
No.
Okay, because I could have sworn that there was some issue with, like, delayed, or it had a long development time or something.
No.
Or... I must be thinking of the very famous PC game Battleship. Or, Carrier. There's a very famous...
I think so, yeah.
Vaporware game.
Yeah. So, that's my number one, Jeff Siadek's Battlestations.
So, deeply
thematic sci-fi games, starting with my number 5, because he can't spit it out, is Eclipse. Number 4 is Twilight Imperium 4. Number 3 is Galaxy Defenders. Number 2 is Gen 7. And number 1 is Battlestations.
My number 5 is Among the Stars. We didn't have a single...
Nope.
Wow. Technical to be at 2. Among the Stars, number 4, First Martians, number 3, Kepler, 3042, number 2, Nemesis, number 1, Gia. What was your list again? Because I think this is one of those lists where I'm like, I want to play every one of these games again.
It was Eclipse, Twilight Imperium 4, Galaxy Defenders, Gen 7, and Battlestations.
I want to play Gen 7 and Battlestations.
Yeah.
I can play all my other games again right now. So I have been, and he has been.
And remember, the rules are just a suggestion. Play the game how you want to play it.
As long as it's sci-fi.